Namaste, Jai Hind everyone. Welcome to MMK The Eagle View. So today we are going to see a very important update about China. So when we speak about China, the first thing we remember is the Chinese Communist Party. Second thing would be Xi Jinping and the iron wall which China has built around itself. None of us really know what actually happens in China. They're heavily firewalled. They have their own set of social media. They don't use Google. They don't have press freedom. They don't have democracy. So nothing comes out. Whatever Chinese wants, sometimes it comes out as per the way they want to propagate the news. Now we need to look at a few important updates. One is their poster boy finance minister Gong, who was promoted out of turn. He is quite young by his age and experience, but he was Xi Jinping's blue-eyed boy. So he became the finance minister, foreign minister of China. You know, China does a lot of diplomatic stuff. They almost have relationships with almost all the countries in the world. We know how important it is going to be as a foreign minister of the second biggest power in the world. So that's serious. Gong was promoted, I would say, totally out of turn. He was handpicked by Xi Jinping in his cabinet as a foreign affairs minister. And in April 2023, in this year, suddenly he vanished. His name was removed as foreign minister. His name was removed from the Politburo of China, which is a power center. But his name continues to remain so in their Central Committee. Central Committee is nothing but an association of the top 200 powerful people of China. The Chinese Communist Party, their PLA, the military officers, bureaucrats and so on. Now what happened to him? Nobody knows. So why was he thrown out? Or why was he removed in a very unceremonial way? Suddenly he just vanishes. The reason given at that time was Gong had an affair with a very famous Chinese television anchor. Her name is Fu Jingxian. Fu Jingxian had an affair with Gong, their foreign minister, and she in turn went and posted few social media updates that they had a child as well. But this guy is already married. That's a different story altogether. Not to get into their personal stuff. But this female had done her education from US. Her thoughts are more Western. She is not a traditional communist party person or a communist oriented person. She is totally Western. So there were allegations that through her America's intelligence agency CIA has extracted confidential data from Gong. That is why he was sacked. Now her social media post was last seen on 4th April 2023 in Weibo, their own form of Twitter. After that she has gone off the record. She is incognito and nobody could see her or she is just publicly not visible. Even this guy, the ex-foreign minister Gong, is also just not visible. They have vanished. Now there are multiple reports by those Chinese who fled China fearing their security or you want to go into live in a better society elsewhere. They had come out and said either he has been killed or executed for treason, because in China the punishment for treason, anything against the government of the country, you are executed, you are killed. That's the punishment they do. Or he has been put under a solitary confinement in one of the worst prisons of China. This is a theory, we really don't know what it is. But if a minister is removed, say for example in a country like India, in other countries, you can see them doing elsewhere. One minister goes off, after 5 to 10 days, he will be again back in the social media. We can interact with them, they will be doing some other job, maybe party, or they will shift to some other party. But out here, they are just not seen. Now comes to the point, what was those secrets? Now this is a stunning revelation which is coming up now. In link to this, immediately after this guy vanished, PLA's coveted rocket force. It's a strategic force of China. China flaunts it. It's a baby brainchild of Xi Jinping. Xi Jinping is a brainchild of the rocket force. It is the latest force of the People Liberation Army, started with just 13 years before in 2010. PLA was given a free hand to modernize. They were reporting directly to Xi Jinping. It was a pet project. Missiles from the range of 30 kilometers and up to like 15,000 kilometer intercontinental ballistic missiles. There are hypergliding vehicles, space wars, extra stratosphere projectiles, rockets, missiles and missile defense. Everything comes under this, and this is a very strategic force. PLA's rocket force can literally hit any country in the world with the kind of capabilities they have. This was the most highly modernized force and a highly funded one. Xi Jinping's hand-picked commanders of PLA went into it, and it's also a highly technocrat force. It's not a normal force where anybody can go and join. It needs a lot of technical know-hows, lot of technical degrees. Only then you can get qualified as an officer or even a soldier to work in the PLA's rocket force. So his PLA's force commander, rocket force commander, this guy's name is Lieutenant General Li Echo. Apologies for my Chinese name pronunciation. Everything is Li, or it's very funny to read it, but apologies for my pronunciation. Lieutenant General Li Echo was arrested as soon as King Gong went incognito. Now PLA's rocket forces top commander is arrested. His second in command is also arrested. 3 more people from there were arrested and they were demoted. Demotion in military is a very, very rare phenomenon. Unless or until you mess up so badly, it is not going to happen, and they were shifted out. Now Xi Jinping wished to rejuvenate China by fighting those 5-6 different wars, one with Taiwan, one with South Korea, one with India, one with Japan, and one eventually with US. All these dreams are based on a very cutting edge strategic advantage China has, that's a rocket force. Now you are sacking the topmost commander, you are sacking his second in command also, and you are also sacking 3 other important officers in the month of June, and then you want to invade Taiwan. You know, it looks so weird, right? Nobody does it. When our Field Marshal Manek Shah answered against Indira Gandhi, then PM, she was furious, she was angry, but she didn't sack him because she wanted to go on an all-out war with Pakistan and to liberate Bangladesh. So she know that he is the only capable leader to lead at that point of view. You can always have the second leader coming up, but you cannot fight a war immediately with a new leadership. He is a very proven, capable military leader of modern India. So she decided to go along with them. Similarly, Xi Jinping, if he would have been a wise man, which we all believe, would like to retain at least the second in command, because taking off the leadership overnight, striking it off, really demoralizes the force and it puts their ambitions into jeopardy. So nothing of that sort happened. Now the latest news is just before 2 days, 70 PLA officers of Rocket Force has been arrested on charges of corruption in procurement and procurement of substandard weaponry for Rocket Force. Can you imagine this? 70 officers arrested. It's not that they have been demoted or transferred. They have been straight away arrested by the Chinese disciplinary committee, which is like the anti-corruption or a vigilance, anti-corruption vigilance or a ED kind of stuff here. So they have been arrested under charges of corruption in procurement and also buying substandard stuff from the SOEs, the state-owned enterprises. Like we have BHEL, we have HAL. So China has a lot of this state-owned enterprises, the public limited companies. So there are corruption. It's basically government is buying from its own agency. It's a company, government buying from the government's company. But here they have identified some corruption, substandard spare parts, substandard components, critical components in missiles, and this looks so weird. But the actual reason goes back to the April episode of King Gong, where they have lost critical military secrets about the rocket force. This is a clear information leak. It's just not a leak. It is the rocket forces configuration. What is the missile configuration? what are the softwares involved in it, what is the cutting edge technology it has, number of missiles, its deployments, what speed it can travel, what navigation system it uses, what's its armament, what explosion it can cause. There are plenty of details which are very, very confidential, which is very, very close to the chest of the military. Now these secrets have fallen into the hands of CIA. That's the crux of the story. 70 officers have been arrested. The PLA Rocket Force is literally standstill now. They have ambitions of, this is a force which will also fight in the space. Don't forget, their hyper gliding vehicle, re-entry vehicle, there's space missions, attacking enemy satellites, keeping the mission, your arms and missiles in the space, and to attack any other country, intercontinental, ballistic, cruise, every possible missiles are there. This is the ambitious force which Xi Jinping created. Their secrets, topmost military secrets, have been hacked by, or I would say taken over by the CIA. Very, very serious investigations have been launched. We can expect more arrests and more executions on this. And it will take trillions and trillions of dollars, at least billions of dollars for China to reconfigure this missile, because the moment your enemy knows the configuration of the missile, the way it behaves, the way it travels, how to counter it, the counter missile program, it's a very easy way of serving it in a platter. A counter missile program, defense program would be happy to have such a data where they don't have to hypothecate or study anything. Everything is available on the platter. These missiles can be rendered useless in just matter of time. And it also, there is a report study which also says it's not only CIA, there are intelligence agencies of Asian countries, quote unquote Asian countries. It may be South Korea, it may be India, it may be Japan, it may be any Asian country, but Chinese adversaries, the bigger ones. This is sprung a big surprise, and to relate to this, 6 months before, I think 6 or 7 months before, CIA's chief William Burns once addressed the media, and when a question was asked about the CIA operations in China, he said it was curtailed. Xi Jinping went after the American spies way back in 2012 to almost 2016, and the Ministry of State Security, MSS, the Chinese equivalent of CIA, went and boldly told or proudly told that we have crushed all the CIA spies, everybody has been killed or thrown out. William Burns stated that yes, we have re-established our effective network in China. Now this is a very clear words, no mincing. It clearly says that we have our own spy network inside China. China immediately reacted. It said that it destabilizes relation within the country. You have to pull back. And then Xi Jinping went back to his domestic audience and see how our adversaries are against us and all this. Global and domestic politics go together. So they are politicians not always allowed to take some mileage out of it. Now after this particular arrest and then the missile program leak, it is just not operational details. If it is just only about deployment, you can change the deployment, keep it elsewhere. But if it is about the missile configuration, the type of software, what cutting edge technology it has, then it's an open book. Once you reveal the weapons which are close to you, you already lost the battle. If you rethink about it, there was a meeting which happened between Vladimir Putin and Xi Jinping in the month of March, I think. It's somewhere in April, where Xi Jinping had expressed his concern that US has been targeting its rocket force in terms of espionage and intelligence. Post that, this information of King Gong's affair with that Fu Jingxia, who is the news anchor, this entire episode was actually found by KGB, and the details of it was given by Putin to Xi Jinping. It's not that the MSS, so-called hyped Chinese intelligence, has went and found something on their own. It was actually gifted by Russia to China. So they have given such a thing has happened, and you need to take some action on it. Now, we have a lot of common programs which is happening between China and Russia as well. When China's data is compromised, it naturally compromises the missile data of partly at least Russia as well. So Russia is also equally worried. So that's how they got into this finding a counter espionage or a counter intelligence measure, and finally this every network of this was found out. Now China always propagates, especially Xi Jinping says that, see, he is one of the most corrupt minister, he is the most senior most military official, he has been arrested under corruption, he has been jailed. The anti-corruption drive was the one which popularized Xi Jinping, who made him a people leader among the Chinese masses. But this particular case has not been disclosed. There is no news about it. Nobody speaks about it. The Chinese people, they keep on remaining in their social media platforms like Weibo. But there is absolutely pin drop silence as far as the government is concerned. And there are a few newspapers who are like government controlled, like the Global Times. They are also absolutely mouth shut about it. Now, you saw the data of the facts of 70 officers getting arrested, the PLA's top leadership, the Rocket Force's top leadership getting arrested, William Burns' statement, and their zero absolute silence about it. Now coming to other fact of it, the analysis of it. If you see Chinese tone during the speaker of US visited, I forgot her name, Polinsky, if I am not wrong. She visited Taiwan, and then China literally was threatening that we are going to launch a war. There were 21 US aircraft which escorted her to land in the Taiwan Straits, Taiwan strip of the Taiwan Strait. At that particular day, China did lot of theatrics, lot of missiles were fired, lot of aircrafts were sent to scramble. All this theatrics was done by China. Post that, if you from that till today, China is quite not, they are not just speaking, or there is no jingoism about their invasion on Taiwan. The Taiwanese elections are about to be on now in a month or so, but they are absolutely shut. There is no Chinese media hype about India, that China is going to invade Taiwan. They call it as accession. We will reintegrate. There is no such jingoism which is going on now, because the key factor in terms of the Chinese attack on Taiwan is based on this rocket force. You soften the enemy target with overwhelming power of rockets, which is it's hardly a few hundred miles away from the mainland. So that is their plan. The entire plan to attack Taiwan was based on the numeric and technology superior rocket force, followed by their infantry, which will eventually do a beach landing, and subsequently they will do a military action. So this was the plan. Now they have been quite mouth shut about it. In fact, Taiwan is going on in terms of procuring more weapons from US. Taiwan is procuring weapons from across the world. But China is just not speaking about Taiwan or its invasion about Taiwan. Clearly it is understood there is something seriously wrong with their rocket force, a much hyped rocket force. Their secrets, we don't know what really was leaked or what really was hacked. But there is a lot of worrisome data which Chinese have given up to US, and in this case CIA with few other intelligence agencies, quote unquote Asia, have done an excellent job in it. So we can conclude this video by an analysis that all is not going to be well with China. Their tactics of wolf and warrior, and then intimidating smaller countries, use of brute military force, show of strength, with the fact that they have their own social media, they have their own world of this thing, they don't speak English, they have isolated their citizens from all these external forces, is just not true. The so-called, the iron wall can also be braked, it can also be corroded, and we can also make punches in it. Good luck China. We will again meet in the next video. Thank you all. Jai Hind.